Yo, so my man's getting hella questions talking about, yo, are you always making this stuff about Beck? Are you always like, why Beck is block? Beck is block, Beck on the block. What is Beck is on the block? Yo, I'm gonna let y'all know right now what Beck is on the block is, alright? I'm gonna tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? What is Bad Kids on the Block? Alright, so Bad Kids on the Block is a video series made by Crypto9095. The first episode was released around December 27th, 2017, around there, you know what I'm saying? It consists of three different seasons. Season 1 was 15 episodes, Season 2 was 6 episodes, and 10 years later was Season 3, which is around 26 episodes. There's also two bonus episodes that are not in seasons at all. Crypto and Dem Street, they voice all the characters, but in 10 years later, Season 3, Crypto only voices the characters, and some girl, she voices them too. But she voices all the female characters in both things. In the two bonus episodes, the actors came back, though. Back in the Buck, it's really a comedy, it's just a funny GTA, not GTA, if you feel like real life skit, you know what I'm saying, these three young kids, they're living in the hood, they got the blood gang conflict, police gang conflict, and they just have to test their loyalty with all the situations. It's really a childhood show of mine, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the people, you know what I'm saying. So, alright, meet our three main characters, you know what I'm saying. We got JD, Daquan, and Day Day. 10 chapters. Today's episode, I'm gonna go through 10 chapters. Tomorrow, I'm going through season 1, and then after that, once season 2, I'm going to season 3, probably half season 3. But part 1, Daquan. Daquan, he never knows how the last name, but he first appears in episode 1 of Back is on the Block. We all know about, all we know about Daquan's parents is that his father left him. He mentions in episode 1, and his mom is always around, but she appears in episode 2. Sorry for my dog. In season 3 or 10 years later, Daquan is shown to have a brother that's been in jail for around most of the series. He only pulls up in 10 years later. In episode 1, it's shown that Daquan's best friends are JD, Day, and John. Episode 1 through 5. He basically speaks with Googler in episode 1, and after a few episodes, they become friends also with Big Ray Ray. He also becomes friends with Crypto, but we're not going to talk about Crypto because he's just like an add-on character, which really kind of ruined the show. When it comes to relationships, Daquan, he has a massive crush on Big Booty Judy, big crush, probably the biggest crush to everybody. From episode 4 to around season 2, episode 5, because that's when he drops Judy for what happened. We'll get there. In episode 13, he meets Veronica with everybody else, and he develops a crush on her, but it doesn't really work out until 10 years later, where they're dating. Yeah, and they date for the majority of the series, but in Vice City, the rest of the episode, he has like a one-night stand with some girl, but it's a one-night stand, so who cares? Here's Daquan's brother, and that's his mother. Alright, next up we got JD. JD is also shown in episode 1, who's our main character. His mom is known to getting smashed a lot. She's like a thought stripper type of thing. But in that same scene, we meet his mother. We meet his future stepbrother, Big Ray Ray. And I guess a scene before that, it shows JD's a little bit of backstory, and it seems like his father is Franklin. A picture pops up, and it looks like that's his father. We don't really know anything. JD has no siblings, but in episode 8, we meet Bad Santa. And then in episode 12, it's shown that JD's grandfather, that is JD's grandfather in episode 12. And JD's last name is presumed to be Jackson because his mother isn't married, and his grandfather's last name, that's his grandfather's last name. JD's mother dies in episode 6 after the blood leader sent his brother sent the goons to kill his family. Daquan and JD are the same friends, same thing, relationships. But they didn't like Daquan's brother because when they met, they had a little beef. But almost every episode, JD likes Big Booty Judy only because of her big booty. But they end up actually going on a date in 10 years later, But it doesn't work out. In episode 13, he also meets Veronica, and he ditches the guys to go hang out with her and take her on a date. And they end up dating. And I'm not really ever sure if JD lost his virginity, because he talks about sex a lot, with these girls and stuff, so I don't really know if he lost his virginity. Here's his presumed father, and here's his mother. Now when it comes to Day Day, we also meet him in episode 1. He doesn't really have a backstory. All you know is that he mentioned his mother in episode 8. And he also betrays the gang in season 2. We'll get to there. Day Day is also friends with everyone so far, you know what I'm saying? Same guys, except for Daquan's brother, because he, around until season 2, he switched teams, you know, until he traded, so he doesn't like Daquan's brother. Relationships, Day Day has an ongoing crush on Judy and Veronica, but he's had best of the both worlds. In season 2, episode 1, Veronica heads to Day Day's house, and they kiss and go on a date. She cheats. They date in season 2, episode 6, where Day Day joins the gang and joins the Bloods. And since he joined the Bloods, Judy and him seems like they date, but it's kind of a Judy, Day Day, and Lil Sean love triangle. We'll get to there. In episode 1, we also meet Big Ray Ray. He has no background in Bad Kids on the Block, except for being a past prisoner with JD's grandfather, JJ Jackson, and they both escaped prison together. Ray Ray he's just a man of sex, you know. He loves sex, you know, with these old ladies, and he has an actual relationship with JD's mother, kinda. He actually kind of has some love for her until she died. He also smashed Daquan's mother. We see that later on too. But out of those two, it's only relationships, you know. And he also had a relationship with Sean's mother and 10 years later, but we'll eventually get to that probably. He just smashes mothers though, smashes girls. Ray Ray isn't a Back Kids on the Block character though. Ray Ray is a Crypto 9095 character. He's in different series, the real life series, especially. You know, I've watched that. It's a really good series, and he's just a different story in that. But Ray Ray, he's you know, he's not really from Back Kids on the Block. He doesn't originate from there, but he's in it. Same for Magugula. Magugula is also not a Back Kids on the Block character, but it seems like it's kind of an origin story for him. Because, you know, in Crypto's other videos, Magugula always has his mask. Magugula is known for wearing that mask. But in Back Kids on the Block, Magugula doesn't wear a mask until around episode 15 when Judy's brother shoots him. So it's kind of an origin story for him, in my opinion. He's also friends with the bad kids, like Ray Ray, and likes Ray Ray. But unlike Ray Ray, he doesn't chill with his mothers and smash his mothers, but he gets a lot of girls. He's also a Crip, but for some reason, him and the Blood Leader are kind of best friends all the time, and they're just cool. He's also on the music studio, and he signed Veronica. Lil Sean, he only going to have a mother, which she's shown in 10 years later after Big Ray Ray and Daquan's brother was smashing her. At this time, Day Day was evil, and he shot Sean. But after this, and 10 years later, Sean, he survived, but I guess he just left because he wasn't really in any other episodes and 10 years later after that. So he just left because everything was happening. In episode 10, Sean betrays the gang for his mom to be safe, and he joins the Bloods. But in episode 13, he listens to the diss track on the Bad Kids, and it made him rich and famous. He's been famous for a while, but he doesn't let the fame get to him, you know. Sean's also friends with the Bad Kids and Magugula and Ray Ray. He's also dating Judy a lot in the series, and he breaks up with her on episode 15 due to what her brother did to JD, and he rejoins the Bad Kids. And he leaves the Bloods during his fame. During his fame in episode 13 and 14. Goodness. Had a period. During his fame in episode 13 to 14, he meets Veronica at a concert and they get together, but it's shown that she stuffed him in a closet, so I don't think anything happened. He goes back and forth with Judy through 10 years later because of the love triangle. Big Booty Judy is only known as Big Booty Judy. She's first shown in episode 4. A random black guy is presumed to be her father because, you know, they talk, you know what I'm saying, like their father. Because they talk like, you know, their father and daughter. But it's also that her blood leader is actually her father, and she's been in Blood. In later episodes, she mentions that she doesn't like doing bad stuff to the Bad Kids and just wants to be their friend. But it doesn't really work out except for just having boyfriends. Judy has a brother, and he appears in episode 14, but gets jailed in episode 15. But he returns in season 2, but he also gets hit by a car in season 2, episode 3, and just never comes back. Maybe he just gave up, I don't know. I'm telling you all this right now, but I didn't give him a slide because he's not really an important character. He's only in here for like a few episodes. Judy's only known friends were the Bad Kids and the Blood Gang members. She only dates Sean secretly in episode 13, and they break up in episode 15. After that, in season 2, episode 6, she dated Jones of Bloods, and she dates Day Day. And they go on and off as a little Sean, Day Day, and Judy love triangle. The Blood Leader. The Blood Leader is also not a Bad Kids on the Block character. He's in the Lovers script videos, the real life series, and many other. Um, but when it comes to his Bad Kids on the Block story, he dies in episode 13 from JD's grandfather gunning him down after what the Bloods did to his daughter, which is JD's mom. For some odd reason, he's back and alive in a wheelchair and 10 years later, but also 10 years later, like an episode later, we find out he doesn't even need a wheelchair. Crypto and Magugula are Crips, but he's friends with them, like I said earlier. Magugula used to work for him in Back of the Block shown in episode 2, and he seems to have a soft spot for his baby mama, due to him being threatened by every insult about her. But he's tough, not gonna cap. JD's granddad. He's only known to being Grady's granddad. He doesn't really have any backstory. We meet him, but we first meet him as Bad Santa, and he steals presents from the Bad Kids, Magugula and Big Ray Ray. The kids put the beats on him to get their presents back. Ray Ray gets knocked out by him after he tried to get his get back in episode 10. Actually, episode 9. But he gets his get back in episode 10. Ray Ray starts to remember when they escaped prison together and they group back up and saved Daquan in the episode. I'll explain it. Judy's brother killed him, but he just randomly came back to season 2. All he really has is Ray Ray and his grandson. But he is shown smashing a girl in season 2, episode 2. But it's not like a relationship. Lastly, Veronica. Veronica doesn't have a background really. She stated that she's done karate, and she's shown to be a music artist that Magugula signed. And 10 years later, she tells Daquan that she works for the FBI, but it just gets overlooked. It doesn't really matter. In season 2, it stated that Veronica was going to set Day up with their breakup and Judy dating Day. Veronica has had all the guys. It started with JD, and they begun dating in episode 13, and in episode 14, she was with Sean at the concert, but almost did anything, but she stepped on in the closet. Then she cheated on JD in season 2, episode 1 with a Day. After that, she dated Day until Day became a blood, and they broke up. Lastly, around the entirety of 10 years later, she dates Daquan. They don't have any really like relationship scenes, you know. All right. To conclude this, here's Daquan's family tree. So we start with the purple and Daquan. That's his mother. He has connections to all these people. His brother, Magugula, Sean, Ray Ray, JD, Daquan, JD, Day, Veronica. The Hong Kong Dingaling. He's not really friends with him. I only put his friends and actual people he's friends and his like family. Here's JD's family tree, so I got the red. Franklin, presumed. Wanda and JJ. His mother's name is Wanda. Shown is told about. He actually Daddy has a dog named Chico. It's shown in season 2, episode 2. He's dated Veronica, friends with Day, friends with Daquan, and Ray Ray, Sean, and he's had a past with Judy. I would call them friends. They've been through a lot. Even though she's a blood and stuff, they've been through a lot. And he's also friends with Magugula. His Day family tree. He has a mom, which we don't really know who she is at all. Dated Judy, dated Veronica, best friends with Daquan, JD, Ray Ray, Sean, and Magugula. There's little Sean's, he has a mom. Dated Judy, talk a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't really put him and Veronica as friends. They don't really do anything at all in the show. But JD, dated Daquan, Ray Ray, and Magugula. His big Ray Ray's family tree. He's been with all the moms, Been with Wanda, been with the mother of Daquan and Sean's mom. Friends with JD, friends with JJ, friends with Day, friends with Daquan and Sean, not friends with Judy at all. Kind of friends with the blood leader, so I counted that. Friends with Magugula, and he's friends with around the end of season 2, they meet back up with the Hong Kong Dingaling guy, and I guess they can call each other friends, they've had their time. Magugula's Ray Ray, the blood leader, Day, Hong Kong, Veronica, Sean, JD, Daquan, the usual. It's Judy's. She's Judy's just her brother, the blood leader, which is connected to Ray Ray, Magugula, the Hong Kong guy. Day and Sean and JD. I don't know why Daquan's not here. I think I maybe messed up on something, but Daquan is here. And lastly, Veronica. She doesn't really have much. She just knows Magugula from the music. Knows JD from dating. And Daquan and dating. Now, on episode 2, I'm going to be doing a description of every single episode in season 1. 15 episodes, background music. It's gonna get lit. Stay tuned.